My name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain over time. It just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. It's already Thursday, kids. Already Thursday. 2 days from Valentine's Day. And I don't have to celebrate it this year. There you go. How about that? That's not bad. That's not a bad thing. But, anyway, welcome to the show. Please come inside. We're gonna do the show. We got a ton of stuff to get to. We got the Newsmax engineers here. And Rodney and Don, hopefully the stream is going to be strong. But most probably, and here's what happens in the engineering. Maybe this happens when you have an IT guy in your office. Everything works fine when they're here. And as soon as they leave, it stops working. That's just the way it generally works out. So anyway, we're glad to have them here. And hopefully we will have no issues with the stream today. Hopefully it will not have problems like Joe Biden has with his stream in the middle of the night at around 2 a.m. But welcome to the show. I was thinking about this today because I was driving into work, and which is not really work. Look what I do for a living. It's not work. But anyway, I was driving in. And it's been fully 2 weeks since a fairly large snowstorm. I think we got 8 to 12 inches of snow and a little bit of ice on top of it. And it has been woefully inadequate. The removal of snow has been woefully inadequate. And certainly in New York City, a lot of people are very upset about it. Here's a latest little video from a New York City resident not able to move because of the snow that hasn't been removed yet.
This is Brooklyn. 20 minutes on one block. Double park, trucks, cars, piles of ice. Nobody could live a normal life anymore. This is the new reality. Mamdani's New York.
No. I think we are looking at this the wrong way. Municipalities around the country, Democrat-run cities, are saving a fortune on snow removal. They don't have any overtime workers, driving trucks and snow plows and all that stuff. And they've got a new strategy. It's money saving for snow removal. It's called wait until it melts. That's what it is. That's the strategy. This is about saving taxpayers' money. This is a brilliant strategy by Zoran Mandani and the mayor here in Northern Virginia where I live, that the snow has been here, unmoved, cars snowed in for now almost 2 weeks, and it's a new strategy. It's wait for the snow to melt, because yesterday it was like 45 degrees, and people were starting to be able to drive again. Huh? Right? This is another brilliant Democrat strategy. You may recall that I said that in Minneapolis that the Somali daycare centers without children were some of the best examples of anti-discrimination, because why should childless couples not have access to childcare? Why should childless couples not have access to quality daycare? You can take your imaginary children to the imaginary daycare, and then you can wait till after work and you go back and you pick up your imaginary children. It's one of the best strategies when you think about it as far as anti-discrimination policies you could ever imagine. And this is saving millions of dollars on snow removal by just waiting for it to melt. I think it's kind of genius, actually, if you really think about it. I mean, it's terribly inconvenient. It's awful, and they fine you, by the way, around here if you don't shovel off your walk. And same way in New York, they fine you, but they haven't removed the snow from where you normally park. On the side of the road, they got the They got the meters there. They got these electric meters, and you put in your license plate number, and you get charged. Oh, man, what a racket this is. Holy hell. It's like you just go in. It's $3 to $5 just to sit there. But the thing is, they're discovering that by not removing the snow where you normally park, you're having to park in the street, and they're not making the money, but you get fined because you don't make your walk passable. It's just, that's the way government works. It's just kind of silly. This morning, Tom Homan was talking in Minneapolis. There's been a lot of screaming and yelling by Democrats about removing illegals from the United States, people who've come here illegally, and then particularly those who have committed crimes. And normally in places like Texas, what ICE does is they go to the jails where the illegal alien criminals are being housed, and then the local authorities hand over the illegal alien criminals to ICE. It's in Minneapolis where they've decided not to do that, and if there's a rapist or a murderer or whatever, Minneapolis chooses to release the rapist or murderer from the jail into the community. I know, it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. And then, of course, the Karens and all of their emasculated boyfriends or just men in their lives go out and blow whistles and attack ICE as they're trying to do their job after the Democrats released the murderers and the rapists in the community. It doesn't make any sense. But that's your Democrat Party for you. And here is Tom Homan today telling you one of the things that this operation in Minneapolis has done that I believe probably Democrats will still complain about.
In addition to taking public safety threats off the street, ICE here in this state have located 3,364 missing unaccompanied alien children. Children that the last administration lost and weren't even looking for. That's because of the leadership of President Trump, these children were located.
And what do you suppose the reaction from Democrats to 3,300 and whatever children being found who had been trafficked and were lost essentially in the system? What do you suppose their reaction to that news of children being rescued from bondage, possibly slavery, whoever knows? What do you suppose their reaction is? Yeah.
Get out!
Again, doesn't make any sense. Did you guys hear that? They rescued 3,364 or whatever children who had been lost, trafficked across the southern border. 3,300 plus children whose lives were, in peril. And the ICE operations rescued those children, and Democrats hate it. Now, also another thing Democrats have been going crazy about, there was a bunch of anti-ICE protesters who decided to go into a church and terrify the heck out of the congregants there and tell them they were all racist and everything for going to church, which is illegal, by the way. It's very, 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 very illegal. And the Democrats and the CNN, they said, oh, yeah, because ICE goes into church and they raid churches and they raid schools and they raid hospitals all the time. Well, here's Tom Homan saying, no, that's not true.
I want to say something about the various unfounded complaints I'm hearing about ICE enforcement operations. During the surge operation, ICE has not arrested anybody inside a hospital.
Well, that's not what Democrats are saying.
We have not arrested anybody inside of a school.
I think MSNBC said that that's wrong.
Elementary school.
Yeah, what else?
We have not arrested anybody inside a church.
That's not what Don Lemon is saying.
As a matter of fact, the only ones that disrespected the sanctuary of a church were the agitators that have been arrested and
he was a journalist.
Prosecuted. So far, we have 9 of them.
Yes.
However, those locations are not off the table. I said from day one, there's no sanctuary for a significant public safety threat or national security threat.
You would think, yep.
But as far as those stories about ICE going into churches, arresting people in hospitals, it simply has not happened.
No.
And if you have a case where it happened, you let me know.
Yeah.
Because all the digging I've done here, I can't find a single one.
Yeah, all you ought to do is just look them up, call them, say, hey, ICE raided a church. But see, the thing is, it hasn't happened.
You know, one thing that Hating Men has trained me for is literally trained me for chasing ICE cars off of my street. 5 of them right now. Following them down the neighborhood, honking, blowing whistles, telling them to off. All that rage that I have felt towards men
This is the first time a political movement has been led by insane cat ladies. Insane cul-de-sac dwelling cat ladies.
is coming out. I have been trained for this moment.
Really?
In order to dismantle white supremacy,
Yes.
we have to be willing to lose the benefits of whiteness.
Okay.
Means they kill us too.
Okay.
That's what that means.
Wow.
And it's time for some radical acceptance about that, guys.
Uh-huh.
That's what it's going to take to dismantle white supremacy.
Gotcha.
Is losing the benefits of the system.
Okay.
So we can't be so shocked
Which course syllabus contained all of that when you were in college?
as white people continue to die.
Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Here is Tom Homan talking about what Minneapolis has allowed them to do that has stopped all the violence and the burning and the neighborhood shutdowns and all that.
We now have the ability to arrest criminal aliens in the safety and security of jails throughout the state
Yeah.
at the time they're being released,
Yeah.
like we've done in other states.
Well, that's interesting.
I've also directed the strategic placement of officers
Yes.
in certain areas throughout the states
Good.
that can respond quickly to sheriffs
There you go.
that want to release
Yeah.
somebody and notify us. We need
Now, remember when I told you, and you know, they were talking about the Insurrection Act in Minneapolis and all that, and Donald Trump said, no. We're going to start drawing down the efforts there. And what did they do? He defused the rage machine that's being bought and paid for in cities like Minneapolis. Have you noticed that? The Democrat rage machine has been tampered down. They're still doing the same stuff, by the way. They're still, arresting illegal criminal aliens, and they're still removing them and everything. But the rage machine has kind of been neutered, to say the least. Now, on the other side of the break, I've got a little more from Tom Homan saying that we're not backing down one little bit. And then also a little bit of that Pam Bondi grilling yesterday. That was a lot of fun on Capitol Hill. It was like a childish temper tantrum at a Chuck E. Cheese that would have to be broken up by law enforcement or something. Anyway, all of that is coming up. Here is the number, 800-922-6680. This is The Rob Carson Show.
With the actions he's taken, Jacob Fry is making Minneapolis a clown town. Ice fries a bows and while Tim Wolves is dozing, city has become a clown town. Ilhan Omar's hiding fraud, Keith Ellison's obstructing a war on law enforcement. Jacob Fry's conducting. Tampon Tim is so incompetent. Most Minnesotans want no more of him. It's a clown town, Minneapolis, clown town. It's far from fabulous, clown town. Once great cities become clown town, clown town. Sending troops to Memphis, Tennessee, 'cause it looks like Memphis could use some help from me. The mayor has done nothing to put criminals away. Memphis needs our help, and they need it there today. The city's run by Democrats who defunded police. They can't do their jobs or maintain the peace. I'm sending in the guard. Memphis needs it bad. Their mayor, Paul Young, that guy's really sad. Voted the most dangerous place in the USA. Wouldn't want to live there, wouldn't want to stay. Sending in the guard, that goal, it was mine. Democrats in Memphis, listen to them whine.
Law enforcement isn't to prevent crime. Law enforcement solves crime, not necessarily prevent them from happening.
Buffoon. Jasmine, she is a buffoon. District no longer exists. Out of the Congress real soon. I'll be glad when she's gone from D.C. No Jasmine, it will be pure bliss. I know that this may not sound PC. That mouth on her I will not miss. Buffoon. Jasmine is a total fake. Her ghetto accent's not real. How much more can we take? Buffoon.
The Rob Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
In addition to taking public safety threats off the street, ICE, here in this state, have located 3,364 missing unaccompanied alien children.
Whoa, 3,364 missing unaccompanied alien children were rescued by Tom Homan and ICE, and the Democrat Party screeched and yelled about it. You know, yesterday Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, who I hope goes to jail and has to share a bunk with Keith Ellison, the AG of Minnesota. He said that a lot of businesses are having to shut down because of all the ICE raids are taking the people who work there. Which I said, maybe you should hire a legal alien or maybe somebody who was born here, which is what you're supposed to do, because hiring an illegal alien is illegal. So maybe he's talking about that. Maybe he's mad because those children were good, cheap labor in some of the business around town. We got a bunch of unaccompanied children here. Let's put them to work. They've got little hands to stitch soccer balls like in China. Well, they're very helpful. Maybe that's why he was so upset. Here is Tom Homan talking about how, despite all the nonsense from the left in the country, they're not backing down.
Say we are backing down from immigration enforcement or the promise of mass deportation.
Yep.
You are simply wrong. Look at the data. Record number of arrests and deportations under President Trump.
Yeah, the lowest murder rate in America since the year 1900. And somehow I guess that's bad.
First year. And we'll continue that effort.
I know.
Prioritizing public safety threats.
Have you heard one single Democrat say, hey, that's pretty cool that the murder rate is the lowest it's been in 126 years? Have you heard that one little time? Have you heard one time a Democrat saying, hey, it's pretty cool that the southern border's closed? Hey, it's pretty cool that gas prices have come down dramatically. Man, it's pretty awesome that, that being able to buy a house is coming down in price. That's pretty. No, not one damn time.
National security threats doesn't mean we'll forget about everybody else.
Nope.
We will take action on everybody else.
Yeah.
That's just a stone cold fact.
Just a stone cold fact. That's what it is. He says, however, and again, this is, I think a pretty brilliant move to defuse the Democrat rage machine in Minneapolis. And look at how much quieter it's gotten up there. Isn't that amazing? When Tim Walz is not telling people to fight ICE and all that, and one of the things they've been doing up there, by the way, is pretty funny, is that people have been going around with whistles and blowing the whistles, because when you hear a whistle, the zombie lefties come out of their businesses and out of their cars like zombies and think there's an ICE raid going on. And so they come out. They're like, what? ICE sucks. F ICE. And you realize it's just a guy with a whistle. He went into Dick's Sporting Goods and got a whistle just to screw with him. I think that's just beautiful. I really, really do. Here is Tom Homan talking about there is a drawdown happening. So this is exactly what Democrats should love. You should stop the protesting.
With that, and success that has been made arresting public safety threats and other priorities since this surge operation began, as well as the unprecedented levels of coordination we have obtained from state officials and local law enforcement.
Isn't that amazing what happens when you help other law enforcement?
I have proposed,
yes,
President Trump has concurred,
yes,
that this surge operation conclude.
What?
A significant drawdown has already been underway this week.
Wow.
And will continue through the next week.
That is crazy. Well, what are they going to do with all of those protesters? Because, by the way, they're being bought and paid for. This is Seamus Bruner. He's pretty awesome. He's a journalist and whatnot. He was being questioned by Josh Hawley about it. What are these bought and paid for protesters going to do if they got nothing to protest?
We have tracked over $60 million, according to the latest 990 disclosures, to approximately 14 groups, some of them national, others on the ground.
$60 million is what the violence and all of that cost in Minneapolis alone. They spent $60 million, and Donald Trump just made all the protesters unemployed.
Groups like the ACLU provide the legal defense, as well as facilitate the trainings for some of the tactics that Senator Corrin just described. A group named Democracy Forward, Take Action Minnesota has gotten over $10 million from these large NGO networks, including the Neville Roy Singham Network, Indivisible, National Lawyers Guild, CTUL, the Council on American Islamic Relations Minnesota, CARE,
they're radical.
Minnesota 350, Voices for Racial Justice, on and on. Like I said, over $60 million just according to the latest 990 disclosure.
$60 million to employ a bunch of people who need to take a shower desperately and do nothing but stand around and say F ICE. They get paid for that. It's amazing, isn't it? I think we need some comedy about not effing around with ICE. Jim Gossett.
Protesters in Minnesota, they're out of control.
Well, they're done now.
Jacob Fry, all he does is lie because he has no soul. Tim Walz, he is just as bad. Criminals he'll defend.
Yeah, they did.
Each assault is the protester's fault. This madness has to end. Tom Homan says, hey friend.
What's he say?
You don't bring a gun to protest.
Not a good idea.
You better take his advice.
Don't run over an ICE agent.
You don't run an agent down with your car, and you don't F around with ICE. Before you show up with a gun.
Not a good idea.
You should think twice.
Yeah, you better.
You don't use an SUV as a weapon, and you don't F around with ICE. You don't F around with ICE.
Don't F around with ICE. And there you go. I got to tell you, I never expected this. I think the Democrat Party, they want to do what they did in the summer of 2020 all over again. They do. There's no doubt about it. The next thing now is the Epstein files. Even though they sat on the Epstein files for years, they sat on the Epstein files for 4 years, didn't do a dang thing. And then when Pam Bondi starts releasing the Epstein files, and listen, I want to see the names of these power players. I don't care if they're politicians. I don't care. I want to see the names of the B words that did this. But the Democrats didn't give a rat's behind about it until yesterday when Pam Bondi was in front of Congress so that they could behave like complete morons. Because it was the next thing. Last week, did you notice? Last week, Donald Trump was the worst racist ever because he retweeted a parody of The Lion King that featured the Obamas as primates. Now, there are a whole bunch of black people in there. Not all of them were primates. Hakeem Jeffries was a meerkat, which is an insult to meerkats. But that was the big thing last week. It was the worst thing in the world. Donald Trump is the worst racist. Oh, my God, Donald Trump's the worst racist. And what happened yesterday? Because Pam Bondi was there, they decided that was the next thing. The day before that, it was the ICE agent in there talking about, so they went after ICE, and then they went after Bondi. It's the next thing. And next week, it'll be something else. Do you see? Do you see what it is? They're on and gone. This is how the Democrat Party is. They're intellectually and morally bankrupt. On the other side of the break, I do have some really good audio from yesterday's hearings, and then and also a whole bunch of stuff going on in New York. It looks like Zoran Mondami's socialist utopia is collapsing. I mean, it really is. It's collapsing faster than you could ever imagine. He's already begging he doesn't have enough money, even though Kathy Hochul has already given New York City 35% increase in spending. This happened a lot faster than I thought it would ever would, and I think that's pretty awesome, actually. Also coming up, Michael Charbon from Canada. Don't go anywhere. Hey guys, it's Carson for Quince. You know, a well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, everyday staples that feel easy to wear, even as the weather shifts. Quince has everyday essentials. I love the quality that lasts, by the way. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for every occasion, lighter jackets to keep you warm in the changing season. The list goes on. Now, Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middleman. So you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. Everything is built to hold up to daily wear and still look good season after season. I have a great wool blazer that has the ladies turning their heads, even if they're not looking at me. And then, of course, a cashmere sweater, ridiculously soft, doesn't cost a fortune as well. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/newsmax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's quince.com, QUINCE.com/newsmax. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/newsmax.
Portland is a mess. Their mayor must confess. It's a city overrun with thugs. We will hit them hard. I'm sending in the guard. They'll wipe out the crime and all the drugs. Listen up, Antifa. It's become my endeavor. Want you out of Portland forever. Gotta put this to an end. I promise you, Antifa, the National Guard will defeat ya. With their batons they will greet ya. You can bet they're not your friend.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain over time. It just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to relieffactor.com. That's relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
He's run Minnesota in the ground. Massive fraud Timmy never found. Billions lost. Oh, what a cost. Goodness gracious, Walls is in trouble. He's obstructing ICE every day. He wants illegals to get their way. Out of control. He has no soul. Goodness gracious, Walls is in trouble. Tim is thinking they might impeach him. Should be resigning. For Minnesota, he has done no good. It's sad, so sad. As governor, he's been bad, 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 bad. Many calls for Tim Walz to step down. Minnesota can't afford this clown. Throw him in jail, deny him bail. Goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. His impeachment is an absolute must. Tim has lost the people's trust. He's gotta go, 'cause we all know, goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble.
Thank you.
3, 2, 1. Oh, beauty, go.
Take off to the great white north. Take off. It's a beauty way to go. Take off to the great white north.
That, of course, is the theme song officially of Michael Charbon, at least on this radio program. Michael Charbon, how are you on this glorious Thursday?
Not bad, Rob. A little solemn, but very happy to be on the show.
Why are you solemn? Is it because of your women's hockey team getting killed by USA?
No, we're actually leading right now, Chechnya 3-0, and we've won more gold medals than the United States. So I'm very happy with our state.
Well, it's because it's so dang cold up there, is what the deal is.
Well, as I was saying to your associate Brian, I mean, all of us here in Canada live in igloos, so it's so wonderful when you can eat back bacon and just sit in our cold area with our beaver coats on and just drill for oil and hunt for rabbit. It's wonderful.
Absolutely wonderful. Did you realize that my my father, he was he adopted me, that his grandfather was a Canadian fur trapper. Seriously, French-Canadian fur trapper, settled in the United States. Yeah, in that account. If you want beaver, go to Canada. I'm just saying, it's a place
Rob,
to go.
As a loyal listener of the Rob Carson Show, I understand you're the only American who can do indoor smoking of meat and have men come over for the Super Bowl and make them fat so they can't fit through your door when they leave.
Yes. By the way, did you see the U.S. got second place? They got a silver medal in curling. And I said that the guy who does the sweeping with the broom, I said he's probably the number one fantasy for married women in America. A man pushing a broom is real. I mean, if he dusts, and like moves stuff to dust, I mean, he's going to be the sexiest man alive.
Well, John Swifferjet is actually very popular in some of the retirement communities in Florida.
Swifferjet. Is that his strip club name? John Swifferjet. He works with the retired Chippendales dancers. He just pushes a broom around, takes his shirt off. It's really hot. It's really hot.
Rob, going to a strip joint is like being on a diet and watching food commercials. You can't eat it, you can't touch it. When you run out of money, you have to leave.
But honestly, I mean, you're kind of being used in the same way you are in any relationship with a woman. Anyway, let's move on. Sorry, just got divorced. So let's talk a little bit. A couple of things here. The Canada tariffs. The House is overriding Trump's Canada tariffs. Apparently, they don't realize that Donald Trump can veto this. Resolution cleared the House 219 to 211. Your thoughts on that? I know you're not a big fan of using tariffs against Canada because you guys are experiencing a lot of economic issues anyway because you have a terrible prime minister who's bedded down with China. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think, first of all, Donald Trump did the right thing as far as America was concerned because America was being taken advantage of. Yeah. Donald Trump has successfully used tariffs as a means of being able to resolve wars and get things done. Yeah. The American country, or the American nation, I should say, is the most powerful nation, the largest economic nation, philanthropic, in the way that it takes care of other people, but it had been taken advantage for a long time. Yeah. I get that. Yeah. And I think a lot of other countries around the world finally have started to respect the United States and the power and economic power that you hold. Where there is something that needs to be taken into consideration is your relationship with Canada because of the way that we are so embedded. I understand there's certain elements of Canada that they want to protect and certain amounts of America that they want to protect, but both our economies, Rob, are so reliant on each other, we have to be able to make some conciliatory concessions. And I think final point. I think those governors and those political representatives, with the midterms coming up, they realize that they have to resolve the pain. And we've got to get a trade deal between Canada and the United States.
Well, you look at what's happening with our economy. There was they said it was at 5.5% growth in the fourth quarter. That's with the government shutdown. So it would have been closer to about 7 or 8%. And looking like it's catching fire right now. Our interest rates are coming down. It would be nice to see Canada experience the same kind of growth, but you're not going to with your worthless prime minister, unfortunately. But I don't like to see the Canadian people suffer either.
Your unemployment rate, I think, is like down to 4%.
Yep.
Ours is at 6%.
Yep.
The new jobs numbers just came out in the States. Everybody, all the naysayers and all these MSNBC idiots were saying, "Oh, it's going to be this. It's going to be 75,000." Well, you almost doubled it. I think it was 135,000. The Trump gold time is just starting to get effect now with your stock market at 50,000 points and the 401ks, etc. And the biggest push, which is going to be very timely for America, is going to be with the taxes coming through.
Oh, brother.
I think this is going to be an opportune point. I think what does have to happen is Donald Trump has to be very specific now and don't say anything that's going to upset anybody, because Donald Trump is going to be in the same situation as Mark Carney, the Canadian Prime Minister, in that in 6 months, if either one of them severely screw up, they will lose their power.
Yeah.
Trump will lose his power from politics, and Mark Carney will have to have an election.
Unlike Mark Carney, Donald Trump's doing things that will grow business, and he's doing it for the first time in American history. Look at the thing that he's doing. Michael, can you imagine being able to open a factory right now and write off every capital investment this year? So you need to have a building built. You can write off everything. And then also, Michael, a lot of people who are either tipped employees or people in overtime are already starting to get their tax returns because they want to get them done early. And they're finding out that their tax returns are blowing up. People who wait tables for a living getting $2,500, $3,000 back. And if you wait tables, it may not mean a whole lot to you if you're Nancy Pelosi. But $2,500 is 2 months' rent. Probably some groceries thrown in too. So that's a major, major boon. So as this stuff kind of catches on, it's going to be pretty remarkable. Your housing, though, is completely screwed. Your price of housing skyrocketed worse than here. It doubled when Joe Biden was the president. Now we're starting to see some sanity. Interest rates coming down below 6%. They were 2.9% when Donald Trump left office. What's going to happen with Canada's real estate situation? And what kind of interest rates, by the way, do you guys have up there?
Well, we have it depends what you go and depends the duration. So it can be between 5 and 6. It's coming down slowly, but it's not coming down at a rate that's been felt by Canadians. We have a glut in condos, and we had a problem where we had too many immigrants and nowhere to live.
Yeah.
When you have too many immigrants,
that happened to us too.
That makes housing prices and rents go up.
Yes.
So there has been a little bit of a cap put on that. And I can't help but say that when America sneezes, Canada catches a cold.
Yes.
In the event that Donald Trump's next era of success is slowly coming online, it's going to benefit Canada.
Well, you guys need some help. I mean, because your housing prices up there are obscene, absolutely obscene. Michael, can you hold on? I want to talk a little bit about this transgendered shooter and how Canadian media, of course, is afraid to admit what this person was, among other things. Let's take a break and come back more with Michael Charbon on the Rob Carson Show after this. Don't go anywhere. International disputes, inflation, rising national debt, digital currency, never-ending list of reasons gold has risen 700% in the last 20 years, and of course it's been incredibly volatile the last few weeks, going up to $5,600 an ounce and then dropping to $4,600. As I mentioned, the reason being is there were people selling their gold. They've sat on it. They bought it maybe 2 years ago when it was at $2,600. One day 2 weeks ago, it went up $500, and they said, whoa, I'm going to sell right now. I'm going to do a little profit taking. That's what happened. I talked to Birch Gold earlier this week, and they said that's exactly what happened. And right now, today, it's about $4,960. So it's hovering under $5,000. And this is an opportunity for you. It really is an opportunity. You got a major break. Because if you were thinking of buying at 56, you're saving $600 an ounce. So, and by the way, it's going to go back up again. I'm not an expert at this. I just kind of have common sense, and I also have spoken to a lot of experts, and that's why that's why gold has been such an incredible investment. People have already made money. It's an opportunity for you to get in. Text my name, Rob, to the number 989898 to receive your free gold info kit. No obligation, just information. A+ rating from the BBB. Tens of thousands of happy customers. Let Birch Gold help you diversify with gold. You can have peace of mind regardless of uncertainty. And there's a lot of uncertainty. Text Rob to 989898. Again, my name to Rob to 989898. Do it today.
Nice beaver.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Let me help you with that.
There you go. Beaver, obviously a big deal in Canada. Michael Charbon is on the Newsmax hotline. That soundbite, whenever you talk about the word beaver, you have to play that soundbite. I thought you should know.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I've never had beaver meat, but a guy who wears a beaver hat looks weird, but a beaver coat is cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've never had a beaver sandwich, but anyway, sure. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about this transgender Canadian shooter.
Oh, Rob.
Yes, transgendered high school dropout. Now, listen, I'm not meaning to make light of any way, shape, or form. This is a tragedy. But I'm telling you, it doesn't help to avoid, because you're afraid of offending, the massive signs that this kid was going to do something. This kid had been posing with guns online, had been sharing online, all sorts of thoughts. And then now after it has happened, your authorities in Canada are saying, you don't want to misgender this person and all this. Michael, I think this is a tragedy. I think that it should be, obviously the parents, you got to kind of wonder what they were thinking, why they didn't know that was going on, but also, Canadian authorities ignoring a mental health crisis, and recognizing that we are finally, I think, getting back to the fact we can say that boys who think they're girls, maybe there's something wrong. What are your thoughts?
Well, it was when the police make a statement that he's known to police. That means they've been there.
Yes.
There was multiple visits to the home location because of mental illness.
Yes.
There were guns that were taken away officially by the police and then petitioned to get them back. And the unfortunate circumstance of how it went down is there were two people killed in a house where he went and shot his mother and his stepbrother, and then went to the school and executed 7 people in school. So they kept using the example of a woman in a dress with long brown hair. Now consider, Rob,
that's going to help.
A Tumbler Ridge has 2,500 people. That means the guy who's the cop or the ambulance driver his kids go to school with the lady who works in the hospital, with the lady who works in the grocery store. Everybody knows everybody. So when you tuned into social media, they were identifying that this was a transgendered man who had a problem. He was 18 years old. Mm-hmm. And here's where we get to the real crux of it.
Yes.
It's not blaming a whole category or trying to point fingers at someone who decided on their own 6 years ago that they wanted to be referred to as a female. You're looking at a town that's 2,500 people. You're not invisible. Everybody knows everybody, and they know that there's a problem.
Yeah.
And then when the media when they refuse to identify it. I mean, the United States, unfortunately, has experienced transgender killings. I mean, you look at the Inoculation Catholic School in 2025, or for that matter, the Christian Academy in Nashville in 2023, which, by the way, the Biden administration never wanted to have his manifesto published. There is a natural hesitation to call it what it is. And this is where we're having a problem here.
Yes.
You can't blame the whole category because it's not true. But if that youth was taken and had medical attention and it was acknowledged that there is some sense of mental destabilization, but we can't do that now because everybody's trying to be so woke. And unfortunately, here is another example where someone fell through the cracks. And it's a tragic, tragic situation. One final point.
Yes, sir.
I watched a whole bunch of reports in my research last night, and then I turned on American Idol, and I wept. The tears from American Idol of someone realizing their dreams and some young person being able to fulfill what they loved and what they did is so wonderful. And when you compare that to those poor families and many other families across America who have experienced the anonymousness of being killed in shootings, I mean, we really have to look at this, and I think we have to face the reality that there is some level of mental distortion from someone who represents that they are a different gender when
there you
they
go.
aren't.
You're 100%, 100%. And also gun control. You guys have got gun control laws like you wouldn't believe. It is not the guns. It is the people who have the. By the way, off subject, American Idol. I am a major America's Got Talent, Canada, all these Got Talent. And whenever the golden buzzer, I can't tell you how many tears that I have shed watching the golden buzzer moment, bro. That's my escape, brother. that and puppy videos. Those I'm not afraid to say it, Michael. I'm not afraid to say it.
And I am with you, bud. I have to say part of that is the realization of the American dream.
Yes.
I had that feeling. I had the feeling of the American dream.
Yes.
I mean, I'm very fortunate.
Well, you're living it right now, brother. You're on the Rob Carson show. Dude, you're living it right now.
You know what, Ken, yourself, and Brian, you guys are the most wonderful people, and I know, Rob Carson, how much research you do, but I was in the movie Grease with Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta because I won a contest in Canada.
What?
And that gave me the taste.
Which part?
Of the American dream.
Where were you?
And the American dream is something that everybody aspires to and have the opportunity for, and that's what American Idol, America's Got Talent. It allows someone to be able to taste
Michael,
the American dream.
cut to the chase. Which scene are you in? Who do we look for?
It's the scene where they all get out of school on the first one on the right-hand side when they open the doors. I was in summer 19. I'll send you a couple of photos.
Oh, yes.
I was the only Canadian winner. I was flown to Los Angeles. And as a result of that, the producer, Alan Carr, moved to New York.
Yes.
And I auditioned for an American series.
All right, we'll watch it. Listen, I got to run. Michael Charbon, real quick, tell us where we can find you. Go.
I'm on Newsmax this Sunday in the John Glasgow Show. As always, you can go to michaelacharbon.com or on YouTube. And thank you, Rob Carson, and your great listening audience.
We got to take a break. Let's go, but we'll come back. It's the Rob Carson Show. Oh, I got to see that. Hold on. I got to find that.
Carson, New Year.
I'm talking to my streamers, but I'm also looking up Grease scene, school doors, open. Let me see where it is here. I'll have to look this up. Hi, guys. Looks like the stream is solid. We're going to leave it on. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to jinx anything, but thanks for joining me. Scarecrow 2, how are ya? Dookie Bear, Tom K, Valentina. What are you talking about, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood? Eddie Murphy, brilliant. Politically incorrect, by the way, politically incorrect. Over on the YouTubers, we got local Ken. Hi, local Ken. Good to see you, local Ken. Good to see you, America Marcy, talking about beavers. I know. Whatever. Sometimes we have the sense of humor of a 14-year-old boy. I'm not afraid to admit it. Because, 14-year-old boys know what funny is. They just do. And it's never going to change, so you might as well get used to it right now. There's no, esoteric humor, whatever. We can do that, but also there's nothing wrong with a good beaver joke every once in a while. I'm going to look over here on YouTube. I'm trying to open up the YouTube to see what you guys are doing. I don't know if I'll be able to get it right there. All right. It's time for me to talk. Hold on. I got to find this. When the door is open. Nope, I don't see the door opening scene. I got to check that out, though. All right. Mike, Brian, we probably have, 2 minutes? It's not going to be very long. All right, bro. Thank you. Here we go. All right, I'm going to find that scene with Michael Charbon in Greece. That's pretty fun. The doors opening scene. We're going to rule the school scene, I guess is what it is. We'll definitely get up online. That is really funny. Oh, my God, that is really funny. That Michael Charbon was in Greece. By the way, I want to mention something. My day yesterday was pretty crazy. Yesterday, I found out that my daughter's roommate, they moved in as roommates in last fall, and we found out that he's been pocketing all of the rent. So, and then not telling me that they're getting eviction notices. That was my day yesterday. Then, I don't know what it was. There's something in the water, whatever. I go to 7-Eleven last night, and there's this homeless guy there. And the other night, I got him a Coke. He asked me if I could get him a Coke. And sometimes I'll give homeless people money because there, but by the grace of God, go I. So I didn't get him a Coke this time, and he went nuts, started saying me, F you and F that and all this and all that and all this. And I have never been assaulted like that, other than relatives in the past. So I had to call the cops. It was a heck of a day yesterday. I'll just tell you, it was a hell of a day. I've never, and listen, this is why I think that it's probably a good idea that institutions to take care of people who are mentally gone should be in existence. It is kind of ridiculous to think that somebody, I didn't hold it against him. I know there's something going on in his head he can't explain, but it was disturbing to say the least. To say the least, hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show on the way. The hilarity on Capitol Hill as the Democrats' party's next thing was going after Pam Bondi. Also, Zoran Mondami's socialist utopia collapsing faster than we could have ever imagined. That's on the way. This is the Rob Carson Show.
No blind rhetoric.
No talking down to me.
Don't tell me how to think.
Don't tell me how to think. Don't tell me how to think.
I trust Newsmax. Newsmax.
They don't tell me how to think. They let me decide.
Real news for real people.
about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show on this glorious Thursday. Is it starting to warm up where you are? Because it's warming up where I am. We were above 40 yesterday. And it's kind of similar. It's like when I lived in Minnesota. I lived in Minneapolis for a number of years. And, the winters up there are brutal. And by the way, right now, actually, the worst snows a lot of the times in Minnesota are April. This is the way it is. It's really weird. But things have started to warm up. I'm holding my breath. I'm not going to say anything about the weather. But it's starting to warm up. And I don't know about you, but this year I got cabin fever so bad. It's been utterly ridiculous. So hopefully spring just around the corner. I think all of us could use a little spring, right? Couldn't we use a little spring right about now? So real quick, James Vanderbeek passed away. That was a real tragedy. He's 48 years old, and colon cancer. Dawson's Creek, I think, was a big kind of more of a millennial show. for Gen X, it was Melrose Place and Friends and all of that. But he seemed like a hell of a nice guy, and I'm very disappointed. I'm sad for him. He seemed like a really good guy. So that's all I'm going to say about it. I just want to mention it. Because I've seen a few episodes. I wasn't really into it, Dawson's Creek. I mean, what Adult Man was. It's kind of a little more of a girl show. Am I wrong? Whatever, anyway. There you go. CNN has lost 2/3 of its viewership since 2016. Now, you would think that if your numbers were that bad, you would try to investigate the reason why. And you would try to make a course correction. They haven't done that. 2016 is when they really started to bed down with the Russia collusion hoax, and I mean without any question whatsoever, and then repeat everything that the government told them to say. There was no dissent at all. Whatever they say, you take the vaccine, mandate it. If you don't take it, you're wrong. And look at the bloodbath that's happened since then. You had Chris Cuomo, Don Lemon. Let me see. There have been a whole bunch of people fired from CNN. Wolf Blitzer's still there, I guess. But they've lost 2/3 of their viewership since 2016. Newsmax has gone through the ceiling, by the way, since then. And one of the many reasons why Newsmax is done that is that Newsmax doesn't betray its values. And Newsmax likes to maintain some sort of level of journalistic curiosity. That's why I'm very proud to be a part of Newsmax. And this week, I don't know if you saw that Rob Schmidt was in Venezuela, the first news organization in Venezuela since Maduro's capture. It was a fascinating interview. Chris Ruddy was down there from Newsmax. It was fascinating to watch. And, people just get tired of being lied to. People just getting tired of being lied to. If you get a chance to... you can get Newsmax on cable, streaming, or download the Newsmax app or get a Newsmax Plus membership. But there you go. CNN, 2/3 of its primetime viewers over the past decade, the decrease from roughly 1.3 million in 2016 to 553,000 now is fueling rumors of a possible network sale, something CNN's up for grabs parent company has vehemently denied. They just got rid of NBC, called it MS Now. Still doing the same nonsense. And it would be easy to fix, right? It's like the Washington Post. The Washington Post, they're still thinking that one of their editors who was fired the other day said they're not hard enough on Donald Trump. And I'm like, no, all you have to do is be journalists. All you have to do is cover things fairly. All you have to do is everybody knows that there was something wrong with 2020. Everybody knows that we didn't need to shut the schools down with COVID. Everybody knows that the southern border was wide open. Everybody knows Joe Biden's brain is made of pudding. Everybody knows that. And when you constantly go on and you say that no, the opposite is true, or when you don't report on a great economy, or you report on nonsense, or you say that ICE are Nazis and whatnot, you're going to lose your butts. And I thought it was kind of funny. Washington Post staffers tried to enter the building in protest. Now, have any of you been fired before? Okay. What generally happens when you get fired? Well, sometimes you find out the morning of when your card key doesn't work. And you're like, this is weird. And you rub it on the table, and beep, beep, beep. Oh, it's still not letting me in. What the hell? And then you get a text, and it says something like, hey, can you come see Terry in HR? Would you mind to come up and talk to Terry in HR after your show? And you go, oh, crap. Well, the Washington Post staffers don't realize that their jobs are gone. And they think that, like, in Minneapolis, they can just go out and protest and scream and yell and holler and go into Target and, all this and think that it's going to make a difference, that they'll go, oh, son of a gun, you are exactly right. We should have never fired you. What were we thinking? Come on in. We'll give you your old jobs back and we'll continue bleeding the money we were paying you because nobody reads the paper anymore. So they decided to pull a temper tantrum yesterday and lead a brigade of fired Washington Post employees into the Washington Post. Here's the audio as they enter the building, discover their key cards don't work.
Our plan is to walk into the building and show our right to work.
And their key cards don't work.
Management has locked us out, and let us show them they can't just do it.
They can't just fire it.
Let's go.
Yes, they can. Here we go. Fight! Yeah, fight! Beep, beep, beep. Not working. Beep, beep, beep. Not working. Beep, beep, beep. Not working. Seriously. And?
Can't get in.
Yeah. We can't get in.
There's a right to be in the building. There's a right to work. And it's a right to be in.
No, you don't. It's a private building, and you got fired because they decided to fire you as part of their business plan.
Inside the Washington Post and work.
Sure.
Doing our job.
You don't have a right.
And they're refusing to let us in.
No. Only in America you have the right to party and vote and have a gun.
This is ridiculous and it's an outrage. Jeff Bezos.
And express yourself.
Formerly CEO Will Lewis, Denise, and Matt Monahan.
Yes.
We deserve to work in this building.
Yes. Are the cards working yet? Still not working. Okay.
Lower than they already had. I think it's important to remember that this is just day 5.
This is just day 5. This is back outside again because they couldn't get in.
The 5th work day since they've announced the proposed layoffs. And they will stoop further.
Yes.
And it is up to us, the people here, the people up in that building, to push back because we're the only ones that are going.
Yeah, okay.
We'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. We'll be back.
And your cards,
we'll be back.
Your cards still won't work. Still won't work. It's like, let her go, baby. She's never coming back to you. She's never coming back. I'm like, oh my God, you don't have a right to a job. This is what they're teaching kids in college, I guess, is that you have a right and you're a journalist and all of this. And it is just kind of. And I don't listen. I mean, trust me. I've been out of work. I've been doing this since 1989. Okay, and I have been out of work in that time 5 years. And then 3 years I had to sell cars. So I would recommend car sales. Although I don't think you guys could sell cars because you're just so friggin' annoying. You're just terrible people and you're terribly, terribly stupid. But anyway, let's move on. The America Save America Act. The Democrat Party, this is the next thing, by the way. The next thing, it was, let me see, Donald Trump was a racist because of a Lion King video. Before that, it was Donald Trump as a monarch, a king. Before that, it was Elon Musk as a Nazi. Before that, let me see, the drug boat captains, the narco-terrorists, or just fishing boat guys. It goes on and on. It's the next thing. It's the next thing. Minneapolis now, now that they're drawing down the ICE presence up there, all of these people bought and paid for, they had Elon Musk as a Nazi signs, and then the No Kings protest signs, and then no ICE, F ICE. Now they got to go out and get new placards and find another thing to protest. So there you go. They're doing that. And now it's going to be no voter ID, which is just like the dumbest damn thing ever. That because you see, if you're going to vote, you need to be a citizen. And the only way to prove you're a citizen is a form of identification. You cannot genetically test. Maybe in China. If China, you could test because, almost everybody who lives there is Chinese. So over in China, a DNA test would probably work just fine. But here in the Great American Melting Pot, you need some sort of identification. And the Democrat Party has decided to make this not only about about racism. It's racism, but it's also now women can't get voter ID. So women cannot get a voter ID. Here is Representative Hillary Scholten. She's a crazy Karen cat lady saying that women now are being discriminated against.
Nearly 70 million married women in this country have changed their last name, but their birth certificates don't reflect that. In Michigan's 3rd district alone, 160,000 women could find themselves unable to register simply...
Oh, that's absolute nonsense.
Because when they got married, they didn't change...
Do you suppose any of them will have to have their license renewed in that time, or maybe get a credit card or buy a house or rent anything?
Both their ID and...
What are they going to do? They're going to die. They're all going to die because they cannot exist with, if they have to show an ID.
Their birth certificate. 160,000 women in my district alone.
Wow, that is an unbelievable stretch. Here is Democrat Representative Delia Ramirez going over the top for requiring an ID to prove you are who you are when you vote, when you need an ID for myriad things in your life every stinking day.
Look, as I hear my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, what I hear is the same racist, misogynistic trash, different decade.
No, not really.
Republicans are invoking historical policies intended, let's be clear.
No. Poll taxes and stuff, that was a Democrat thing.
To disenfranchise Americans, especially working people, women, students, indigenous peoples.
Indigenous peoples!
And anyone who can't afford...
They can't carry IDs!
...or the burdens of a new bill. The Save America Act is yet another Republican attempt to intimidate and suppress the votes of anyone who threatens their extremist white supremacist agenda.
It's white supremacist. Man, they are throwing anything at the wall to see if it'll stick. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. County.
I have a rejoin.
Okay.
Donald Trump's election. It's the gift that keeps on giving. It's the Rob Carson Show.
This is an 80% issue, and by the way, over 70% of Democrats support this. So Democrat elected politicians are totally out of touch. And this is, I think, if you look at 2024 election, it was the return of common sense, and nothing could be more common sense than actually having to prove.
Who called the election of 2024 a return to common sense from nonsense? Oh, this guy right here. Thank you.
Prove through voter ID that you are who you say you are to vote in our elections. If we believe in secure elections, this is absolutely something we should do, and you have to do it to check into a hotel, to buy a plane ticket, right? Everybody understands that. Why would the Democrats oppose it? It's interesting it's happening at the same time as we're having this illegal immigration debate in this country, because effectively the Democrats know they can't win elections fairly and they want to cheat. They want people who are here, they've imported people here to vote. They want people to cheat. They want to do ballot harvesting because they know they can't win an election fair and square anymore. So I think this is very important for the Senate to take up, push hard, and let the American people know that we're fighting for them, we're fighting for our republic.
Absolutely. This is Anna Paulina Luna. She is a Spitfire, talking about John Thune, who has no spine.
What does that say about his leadership in the Senate?
I think that it's very disturbing that he is not listening to not just what the Republican voting base wants, but America in general. This act, voter ID, is one of the biggest bipartisan issues, I think, from banning insider trading that we've seen in a while. And yet you have both John Thune and Chuck Schumer agreeing on this issue that they don't want to put it on the floor, which is very odd. I think that if you're going to depend on President Trump's coattails to get elected to office, if you are going to say that you're a Republican, and then if you are going to turn around and complain that I'm bullying you in the House for wanting to pass the SAVE Act, which is common sense legislation, very low-hanging fruit and the right thing to do, then maybe you should consider getting a different job.
Yeah, you should. I'm just so damn sick and tired of it. Honestly, I'm tired of these spineless meows doing this nonsense. Pass the damn SAVE Act. There's nothing wrong with asking people for a dang ID because you know what? We've had our votes stolen for a very long time in this country, and there's nothing wrong with demanding free and fair elections, because every illegal vote is your vote being taken away from you. And if I'm not mistaken, we are a representative republic based on representation, which means you can vote. So there you go. There you go. But the idiocy didn't stop. Scott Jennings talking with Alincia Johnson. This is, honestly, I don't even know how he does it. I don't know what sort of medicine he's on to swim in the sea of idiocy over there. They always have on CNN the dumbest people host the show, and then like Scott Jennings, the smartest people in the room, is one of the panelists who has to swim through this stupidity.
Is actually championing a bill that actually would take voting rights away from a lot of black people in this country.
Wait, what voting rights is he taking away from?
Now listen, she never answers the question because she thinks she can just say racism, and that'll distract you.
Black voters.
Oh, if we look at
the SAVE Act?
The SAVE Act, that's exactly what we're talking about. That is actually going to continue to disenfranchise overwhelmingly a lot of people of color. There are so many civil rights organizations that have run the data. If we look at the way that it is going to disenfranchise black voters, it's the same reason why Chuck
still hasn't answered the question.
Schumer called it Jim Crow 2.0. So this is the same president. If we want to continue,
you haven't said how yet.
I am talking about it.
Now, wait, hold on. He said how. That is an insult to Native Americans.
The way that you're putting new poll taxes.
Use their language like that.
Taxes on this. When you're making people have, that's what we can call them now. It's kind of an idiom, right? If you want to.
No, you're kind of an idiot, though.
Say that people have to prove that they are citizens, that they have to prove.
You know, I got to tell you, I'm very against the poll taxes. It's very difficult enough for girls named Nikki to make it through college and work at a bar like that.
With a voter ID. The reality is you're layering what is a constitutional right for the American people and making it harder for people to vote in this country, and it's going to disenfranchise black voters.
Concern you that you're making all these claims? You've yet to lay out how it's hurting anyone, but 76% of black voters think we should show an ID to vote. 80% of Hispanic voters, 83% of the American people. Are you saying that black voters
the SAVE Act
dumb to know what's good for them? I mean,
the SAVE Act isn't just about
that. Sounds pretty condescending.
Oh, and then of course there comes the host of the show, and she's going to pile on the stupid. It is just, I don't know. It's just an insult to all of our intelligence, to be quite honest. This is Democrat Lauren Underwood on the horror of presenting an identification to vote, which is more important than renting a Sea-Doo when you're at the beach, which you need an ID for.
Republicans are trying to make it harder for you to vote. Let me tell you how.
No.
The Save America Act would require your passport or your birth certificate to match your current name in order to be able to
You got 9 months to do it. The election's in November.
vote. If y'all got married and changed your name, your birth certificate would not match your current name.
Yeah, you got to change it when you get married and then after you get divorced and stuff.
Nearly 69 million women in America have a birth certificate that does not match.
Do you know what they're saying? They're saying that women without a man in their life are weak and unable to do anything. No, really. I mean, of course, I think that is absurd on the face of it. That's what they're saying, ladies. They're saying when you get divorced, you are helpless without the man in your life. You can't do anything.
That's their current name.
That's what they're saying.
And therefore, 69 million American women would no longer be eligible
This is why you should stay married, because you cannot make it on your own.
to vote. These guys say that the Save America Act is needed to prevent undocumented immigrants from voting, but y'all already know that that is not a thing.
No, they do. Tons and tons of them.
What this really is, it's a voter suppression bill to keep.
Oh my God, I just can't take any more stupid from this woman. My God in heaven. Just unbelievable. Ayanna Pressley, who is apparently not trying to kill Superman anymore.
Welcome to another day under Republican majority. I won't hold y'all long.
Please
Tonight
don't.
we voted on the SAVE Act, which stands for Safeguarding Americans' Voter Eligibility.
Yes.
This is a bill that is a solution in search of a problem that does not exist.
Oh, yes, it does.
Non-citizens already can't vote.
You're high.
So to create a bill that requires proof of citizenship and denies forms of ID like state IDs and real IDs.
Now, you got to be able to prove who you are, and you got to be a legal resident. And by the way, illegals do vote. Illegals get free government stuff to the tune of thousands of dollars, and in places like California, they do vote because they don't investigate voter fraud. Ayanna Pressley. My God. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson. New Year.
I've got Mark in Baltimore.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain. Over time, it just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
They're all Democrats, we call them Karen. They have a whiny voice. They are all pro-choice and mostly barren. They're cat ladies. Whoa, they're cat ladies. Talking about some miserable ladies who have clearly lost their minds. These Karens don't like ice. They often pay a price, mistakes they're making. Karenism is their curse. Could go to jail or worse for their law breaking. They're cat ladies. Don't have a child, they're cat ladies. Talking about submissible ladies who are out of their minds.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Quince. You know, a well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, everyday staples that feel easy to wear, even as the weather shifts. Quince has everyday essentials. I love the quality that lasts, by the way. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for every occasion, lighter jackets to keep you warm in the changing season. The list goes on. Now, Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middleman. So you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. Everything is built to hold up to daily wear and still look good season after season. I have a great wool blazer that has the ladies turning their heads, even if they're not looking at me. And then, of course, a cashmere sweater, ridiculously soft, doesn't cost a fortune as well. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/Newsmax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's quince.com, QUINCE.com/Newsmax. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Newsmax.
No ID. Got to kill to save act. That is my plea. If an ID to vote, you must show. Down the tubes the Democrats will go. ID no. That's what I say. It will cost us big time. Election day. SAVE Act is designed to stop the steal. The threat to Democrats, it is real. ID no. No ID. Into law the SAVE Act never can be. Illegals we need voting 2 times, maybe 3, without any proof of ID.
Although I hear they are making SUVs and trucks that'll get 700 miles between Phillips. They're these plug-in hybrids. I guess it's a plug-in hybrid, and the Scout is coming back, like the Bronco. The Scout, they're going to make it actually cool for a change, even though Tim Volz has one. They're kind of a poser truck compared to the Ford Bronco. But anyway, so they're talking about that coming. So wouldn't that be nice, huh? If you could have an actual truck that hauls stuff and get 700 miles per between Phillips. Here's Elon Musk on why Democrats love the illegal aliens being able to vote.
So California and New York and Illinois lie like crazy and say that these are all legitimate payments. Well, these days that I think they're even admitting that they literally want hundreds of billions of dollars for illegals. You get these transfer payments for every government program you can possibly think of. New York, Illinois, and other states. When they would lie, there was no actual enforcement to say like, hey, you're lying. These payments are fraudulent.
This is why they called Elon Musk a Nazi. The Democrat Party was absolutely motivated.
for many years, I worked as an election judge. Actually, now a chief precinct election judge.
Good.
My own precinct here in Baltimore City for many years.
Yes.
And the only time, and I have to be careful when I'm saying this, the only time we are allowed to ask for ID if in the registry the local authorities want us to ask for ID for identification purpose. Otherwise, we are not even allowed to ask somebody to show their ID unless required.
Yeah.
Therefore, my question is,
Yes.
because we got the primary elections coming up in Maryland, coming up in June, with early voting beforehand. So is this going to apply to primary elections, or is it just going to be the overall general election in November?
I think right now the overall general election, I'm not sure. I really don't know. I don't know all the nuances of the Save America Act. But you know, this has been something they've been pushing for a very long time. They've been doing this for a very long time. I mentioned that in the state of Kansas, when I would go in to vote, I would go in and tell them my name, and then I would show them my ID, and they acted like vampires to garlic. It was like, we don't need to see your ID. We don't need to see your ID. And I'd say, there you go. There it is. Look, there's my name right there. There's my address right there. We don't need to see it. I'm like, no, you don't understand. I want you to see it. I want you to see it. And the Democrats have got people so bloody brainwashed that they think it's normal that you would consider, listen, if the Democrats really believe in this, then why not get rid of driver's licenses? Why don't get rid of passports? Why don't we get rid of photo IDs altogether? Get rid of them altogether. Because just getting an ID is racist. So honestly, when it comes to vote, shouldn't they just eliminate all forms of identification because they're racist? Wouldn't that make the most sense? You say, well, of course not, Rob. That's the most idiotic thing ever. Well, they're arguing the same damned thing. Go ahead.
Okay, all I can know is that we will be, before the primary election, we will be going to training in a few months from now, so we will find out more information, depending upon how this legislation is crafted, if it becomes law and so forth. Yeah. So that is it. I wish you all shalom and go USA in the Olympics.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon. Good to hear from you. Good to hear from you. It's just so stupid. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. I think you know what we need to do. We need to do our crazy cat lady of the day. This is a new feature on the show because so many white women are freaking insane. They are the most subject to social contagion. Malcolm X warned black people, beware the white liberal, and now white women have been groomed to accept anything. This all started with the Salem witch trial. Same group of young white women, they, without evidence, decided that people were witches and they'd burn them, and the rest of the society went, okay, let's burn them. And then you moved on to the Manson family. They were all white women, just murdering. And then it became white women espousing, that schools should be closed during COVID, and they just goes on and on and on. And that now they're just off the rails insane. And I mentioned this a year ago. I said it's the same sort of pathos that allows some women to fall in love with death row inmates. And they're always what? White liberal women. Luigi Mangione, he's dreamy. It's that same bullcrap, right? And this is our crazy Karen of the day.
I will not hire a Republican. I will not do business with a place that
I doubt you're in the position to hire.
Employs Republicans.
Yes.
I will not allow a Republican in my home.
Okay. Why?
These folks will sell a child to a predator for $1.
Well, there goes my child trafficking business. Thank you.
Why would you go into a place that hires these people?
Tom Homan just rescued 3,300 kids who had been trafficked and disappeared into the system in Minnesota.
They have literally said that they don't believe in reality. They believe in alternative.
Oh, I'm thinking you're the one who doesn't believe in reality.
Facts. You're going to let someone who believes in alternative facts do your taxes.
You're so crazy the Humane Society will not adopt a cat to you.
You're going to let someone who believes in alternative facts cook your food. These are people who don't believe in science or medicine.
Oh.
They will let...
No idea. We wanted to sex traffic children and don't believe in science. And what else the hell is she?
Chicken sit at room temperature for weeks.
Hey, you people will let chicken sit at room temperature for weeks. Listen to this.
They will let chicken sit at room temperature for weeks.
On top of the child sex trafficking or whatever.
Because they don't believe that diseases exist. They put profits over people every time.
Oh.
Why would you eat at a Republican establishment? Why would you let your kids go there?
Why would anybody allow you visitation from the institution? I mean, my God. Shame on you for leaving your chicken out. My God, we're terrible people.
Well, they have a lot of cats, and they're all Democrats. We call them Karen.
Refrigerate your chicken, for God's sake.
They have a whiny voice. They are all pro-choice and mostly barren. They're cat ladies. Whoa, 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 they're cat ladies. Talking about some miserable ladies.
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
Who have clearly lost their minds. These Karens don't like ice. They often pay a price, mistakes they're making.
Wow.
Karenism is their curse. Could go to jail or worse for their law breaking. They're cat ladies. Don't have a child, they're cat ladies.
Oh my God.
Talking about some miserable ladies who are out of their minds.
Jim Gossett, our crazy cat lady of the day update. Let's do I'll take a break, come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Life insurance.
Exactly like you think.
These are people who don't believe in science or medicine. They will let chicken sit at room temperature for weeks because they don't believe that diseases exist.
Oh my God, Republicans who believe in voter ID and deporting illegals will let their chickens sit out. My God, and get to room temperature. What the hell is wrong with you, Republicans? My God. Of all the things I've heard, lately, you leaving your chicken out is just, that's the last straw. I think I might have to leave the Republican Party because we leave our chicken at room temperature. What the hell are we thinking? What are you thinking, people? We are in the death throes of madness right now. We are in the death throes of madness right now. That's why all this nonsense in the Democrat Party against ICE and against this. No, King, it's just they're nuts. You Democrats, please just listen to me. You don't want to be a part of this. You don't want to be part of this anymore. Do you want to be part of that woman just who said that Republicans want to traffic children and leave their chicken out at room temperature? You know what I think we need? I think we need some good news.
We love to win. Winning, so much winning. It's lots of winning.
Lots of winning.
It's oh so good.
Here is Scott Bessent talking about how they're getting people more jobs in the private sector and shrinking the size of the federal government.
This is what we've been setting the table for all of 2025.
Yeah.
I've said that repeatedly. We've put the necessary ingredients, policies into place. And
now you've used the ingredients, but make sure your chicken is, if it's one of the ingredients, that it can't be at room temperature.
They're starting to pay off. And what's more impressive here is the number that you just gave is the total jobs. There were more than 170,000 private sector jobs.
What?
And there was about a 40,000 decrease in government jobs. So as I've been saying since this administration came into office, we are reprivatizing the economy.
Yeah, and it's, you know what, it's actually a pretty amazing thing. And Washington, D.C., while we were all suffering, while you and I were suffering, we were, experiencing 20, 30, 40% food price increase, doubling the price of homes, tripling the interest rates, having to work 2 or 3 jobs. I was there with you. I was selling cars, watching, chicken breasts go from $1.88 to $2.98 on sale, watching everything. You could completely fill a cart at Walmart with groceries for $300. And when Joe Biden was the president, all you could do is fill the bottom of it. Yeah. Saw a grocery bill go from $600 to $1,200 a month for a family of 4. Saw the price of cars double. I was selling the cars. I know this. And it just went through the ceiling. Used cars doubling in price. Unbelievable. And now things are turning around. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Here's Kevin Hassett. He has this grin on his face all the time. I love this guy. I just want to give him a big hug. Here's Kevin Hassett talking about the good. And by the way, while we were suffering through that economy in Washington, D.C., 94% of the workforce working for the government did not come back from COVID. They stayed at home for 4 years. And they're surprised that a lot of their jobs are being lost. A word of encouragement to government workers. And my wife is very mad at me, my ex-wife, because her cousin lost her government job that she's had her entire life. And I said, well, during that time, I've been fired 4 times and have been out of work for 5 years and had to sell cars for 3 years. So, sorry. But it's amazing. If you got a job you hate so much, you don't want to go back to work for it for 4 years where you want to sit in your pajamas and all that, maybe it's time to reconsider doing something else. You might actually end up liking it more. Here is Kevin Hassett.
I think that the top line is that there was a lot more private sector job creation.
I know.
Once again, it was 172,000.
Yeah.
And one of the...
You got to go to work there. You got to actually show up.
Stories.
You'll meet other people. You guys can bring food, share in the break room.
That everybody's been worried about, I mean, it's actually a legitimate thing to worry about, is that AI was going to take away people's jobs.
Yeah.
Well, the top-line job number shows that that's not happening.
What?
But the other thing you can see is that prime-age labor force participation, which is like people's desire to go get a job and to get back into the workforce, went up to the highest level it's been since 2001.
Oh, you mean that being unemployed in your mom's basement doesn't make you happy?
And so I think that the AI story needs to be modified a little bit. What's happening is that AI is increasing productivity and wages and bringing people back into the labor force. And finally, the interesting thing, too, is this all happened while federal government employment went down a lot, about 360,000 over this year, which means that federal government employment is the lowest it's been since 1966.
Nice.
And the lowest as a share of the overall labor force that it's been ever in all recorded history.
And that's great because you don't build stuff. You don't build stuff as a government employee. You regulate stuff and you tax stuff and you make people jump through hoops to do things, whatever. And you do other stuff. Don't get me wrong. But trust me, baby, change is sometimes good. All right. I don't want to say losing your job is not easy. But clearly, if you haven't been back to work in 4 years, there was maybe you weren't as necessary as you thought you were. I'm just saying. Again, not trying to be insensitive. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. All righty. Okay. Hello, everybody. Who's watching on the Facebookage? Dougito. Hello, Dougito. Rob, I have a question for you. Don't troll me, Doug. Dougito. Vicky Stevens, hello, how are you? Hello, Sam Ken Potter, good to see you. Chris Schwalb, good to see you today. Thank you for watching. Over on the Rumbly-Roo, Scarecrow 2 is watching. Where's Scarecrow 1? Whatever happened to Scarecrow 1? That's what I want to know. Oh, he died after Wizard of Oz. Yeah, he was around for a while. Round-a-Pony. What's going on, Round-a-Pony and Sport Tech? You guys were talking about food earlier. You're talking about making a bolognese. Were we talking about making a bolognese? I think you were. All righty. Let's move over to YouTubeage, a deplorable dinosaur. Mickey Hastings. Missy C1G, hello. Elon Musk wants to make first baby on Mars. Really? First baby on Mars. That's kind of weird. You guys are talking. Hope you're enjoying the show today. I'm enjoying the show today. Oh, I got to talk about something here. Hold on. Are you having fun? I'm having fun. Hold on. 49.45. Here we go. There we are. All right, here we go. I got to talk. Give me a second. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. Got to talk now. I got to tell you, I think this the show's just been a lot of fun today. The Crazy Cat Lady of the Day, very good. If you missed any of it, let's go to the usual podcast platforms. Look up Rob Carson Show. We're growing by leaps and bounds. You know how I can tell we're being seen and heard more? Because more trolls are coming out. And whenever you have more trolls, it means that you're having an impact, and they're going, "Oh man, he's a threat to us." So it's kind of it's an interesting dichotomy, to say the least. Yeah. What's gold at right now? Gold is at 49.45. 49.45. So just under $5,000 an ounce. It is an opportunity for you to buy gold right now. It was up to $5,600. Price gains for gold, silver amid active geopolitics. Tokenized gold is having a major impact on the broader bullion market. There you go. Tokenized. Is that like that thing that Indiana Jones took from the temple? Was that a gold token or whatever? No, maybe not. That was worth a lot of money. That was worth a lot of money. By the way, there's no way that bag of sand weighed as much as that gold, because gold is really heavy. That was one of the fatal flaws of that movie. It was the only flaw, but it wasn't fatal. Gold is rocking the investment party. Gold thrives during uncertainty, which is why it's a crucial part of a balanced strategy. You could get gold from Birch Gold and smelt it and make it into a little idol, just like in Indiana Jones. Actually, I don't know if that's legal, but anyway, whatever. It's an ideal time right now that gold is under $5,000 for you to get in, okay, and then watch it grow. Just watch it grow. There you go. Text my name, Rob, to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. No obligación, only información. A+ rating for the BBB. Tens of thousands of happy customers. You got a break now. It's down. It's down. Yesterday it was 49.30. And it's hanging in under $5,000, so it's a good time for you to get that information ball rolling. By the way, also, I want to mention something. This is going to be a historic year, obviously. It's the 250th year. I'm doing something with our anchor station in Baltimore, a trip to Gettysburg, from Baltimore to Gettysburg and back, luxury coach on June 11th. If you'd like to go, I would suggest you go to WCBM.com. If you're in the area, within driving distance, train distance, whatever. We've already got one nearly sold out. All you got to do is go to WCBM.com. Historic battlefield tour. You'll see where Abe Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address. Lunch at the Dobbin House. It's going to be really cool. June 11th, WCBM.com. Get tickets while they're still available. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the third and final hour of the Rob Carson Show on this Thursday as Keith Ellison gets a colonoscopy.
To you as early as 2019. Let's look. As early as 2019, whistleblower. Don't talk over me.
No,
as early as
talking
2019, it's my hearing, pal. As early as 2019,
don't call me
whistleblowers came. Well, I should call you prisoner because you ought to be in jail.
Well, see what you can do about it.
Let's see what we can do about that. Oh, my goodness. I love this. Keith Ellison being belligerent as hell on Capitol Hill. He of course, presided over billions of dollars in fraud. He said to his Somali buddies who were taking money and sending it out in suitcases, a couple $1 million a day, 700 plus millions of dollars laundered through Minneapolis St. Paul Airport. He actually knew what was happening. He said, "Don't worry about it. I will stop all investigation." That's what he said. And he is on Capitol Hill, and Josh Hawley is giving him a colonoscopy.
The $9 billion in historic fraud out of your state, including the $250 million in the Feeding Our Future program alone. You familiar with that? Don't turn to the pages in your book to get your potted answers. Are you familiar with it? Yes or no?
Yes, I am familiar with it.
Very familiar, aren't you? Because the people
He's got a smug grin.
Who ran the Feeding
I hope he goes to jail for a very long time.
Our Futures program came to you in your official office in the state capitol December 11th, 2021.
Yeah.
And asked for your help in getting investigators off their backs. They complained to you for upwards of an hour about state investigators going after them, and they begged you to help them. And you agreed to it, amazingly. And we know you did.
That's not
because
true.
it's all caught on tape.
Yeah,
Every single sentence is caught on tape. Here's what you said. Let's take a look.
Obviously,
You said, it's not a question. You said to them, send me the names of all these folks who are investigating them. You said to them, send me their names. And I'll take that list and I'll call the person over at Education who is investigating them and say, what's going on? Why am I getting these complaints? Then he went on to say, I already have my team working on this. What day should we get together to discuss it again? You made pledge after pledge to them. You said, we've got to make sure this guy who's investigating them stops it. You said, you have my...
You better give him some more anesthesia. This could get painful.
My attention. I'm concerned about this. You said, let's go...
He's starting to twitch.
Fight these people, meaning the people who are investigating the fraud.
Yeah.
Why'd you do it? Why'd you help them?
Are you going to let me answer?
Please. We're all ears.
So first of all, you're cherry picking quotes out of there.
Why did you help them?
I thought you were going to let me answer.
Why did you help
Are you going to let me answer?
Why did you help
You
them?
let me answer and I'll answer you.
Tell the truth and I'll let you answer.
I will tell the truth.
Good.
Let's do that.
That'd be a nice change. Why'd you help them?
Now see, Mr. Chairman, I didn't come here to be insulted. I came here voluntarily.
You came here for the truth. Let's have it. Why did you help them? The quotes are here.
Wow, this is so good. I love it. I mean, it's very obvious that this fraud was allowed to happen. Here's the beginning of the hearing. Listen to this. He started off being belligerent.
Senator Hawley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Ellison, let me start with you. You're the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota. Do I have that correct? That's a yes?
Sir, you're aware of my job.
Sir, you're aware of my job.
You know the answer to that.
You know the answer.
You're not going to answer my questions? Are we going to start this way? Are you the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota, yes or no?
You know the answer.
You know the answer.
Mr. Ellison, you're in my courtroom now. You're under oath. So I suggest that you answer my question.
You know what? He's a racist.
Are you the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the state of Minnesota, yes or no? Let's try another question. Are you familiar with the $9 billion in historic fraud out of your state, including the $250 million in the Feeding Our Future program alone? You familiar with that? Don't turn to the pages in your book to get your potted answers.
We've already covered this. I love it. I just love it. I just love it. This is the accountability we've been talking about. Here is him being asked about obstructing ICE.
Encourage trained activists,
Ron Johnson,
to put themselves into harm's way because you had to know, because you were watching this, that there were scuffles at least, that these people were obstructing justice. I would think you'd actually, as the Chief Law Enforcement Officer of Minnesota, be concerned about people obstructing justice. So, putting their cars in streets, blocking roads. I would think as Chief Law Enforcement, you would be concerned about that, but Were you ever concerned?
He encouraged it.
About encouraging, I guess, people to support you to go out and put themselves into harm's way.
Yeah.
No, we never.
Impeding and obstructing illegal law enforcement action. Did that ever concern you?
Sir, that never happened.
Yes, it
we
did.
we all times said, if you want to protest, protest peacefully.
Yeah.
Protest
Sure.
safely. But I would. You'll never find me being against the First
Amendment
Amendment
right now, but
I'll always be for the First Amendment.
But you were seeing the scuffles, right? You were seeing
They were encouraging it, dear God. We aren't stupid. There you go. Here he is being asked about, let me see. If you enter the country illegally, you should be deported, according to Senator Marino.
Not a big shot lawyer like you. Just a quick question. If you enter the country illegally or you overstay a visa, should you be deported?
My simple answer is, sir, it depends.
Okay. So if somebody breaks into your home, should they be arrested for breaking and entering, or does it depend?
Oh,
it's an entirely different scenario.
How's that?
No, not really.
Because immigration
No, it's breaking in.
is essentially
Both of them are legal.
Civil, and breaking into my home is a criminal matter.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So if there's laws that should be enforced, so we shouldn't enforce civil violations?
We absolutely should enforce them.
So
he's just so full of crap, honestly. Here's a little. Should I do a little bit more, Josh Hawley?
Correct. That's a yes.
Oh, no, I already did that. Yeah, you knew he was going to be belligerent. You just knew he was going to be belligerent. He's like Fonnie Willis. It's like a male Fonnie Willis, realizing that he's in a whole lot of hot agua. And as this develops, I will be sharing. But I've been waiting for this moment for a very long time. This guy is such just a toad, to be quite honest. Unreal. I really do hope that he goes to jail for a very long time. It is very clear that as the chief law enforcement officer of the state of Minnesota, that he knew this was going on. If all it took was Dick Shirley walking up to a building that said Leering Center and exposed this, and then also another journalist exposed that $250 million was spent on feeding children during COVID, and there were little, 10-seat cafes that were serving, hundreds of thousands of meals a day and charging the government. It's real easy to figure out. It's very obvious he was a part of this. It's very obvious that Democrat Party was very involved with this. It's very, very obvious the Democrat Farmers Labor Party in the state of Minnesota were a part of this, and it's going all around the country. It's going to California next, and it's about time that we did something about it, because it's our money. And while you and I suffered, they enriched themselves beyond our wildest dreams. They bought Bentleys. They lived in mansions while you and I worked 3 jobs trying to get through COVID. And if we're lucky, we might have some money in the bank when we retire, and we'll get a pittance from Social Security. Meanwhile, these guys got millions and millions of dollars for lying about feeding kids, for lying about autism, for lying about everything. It's just ridiculous. It is completely disgusting, to be quite honest. I was going to do a little bit of this Bondi hearing. Should I? It is pretty good, but I don't know. I'll share a little bit of it. This is some of the madness yesterday. This is the Democrat Party. This is the next thing this week. The Bondi hearing. Bondi has released a lot of the Epstein files. A lot of the stuff has been redacted. I have a problem with that, by the way. I have a problem with that because, it's about damn time that people were held accountable. Nobody in Washington, D.C. ever goes to prison. And I'm just done with it. Aren't you kind of done with it? Don't you want to see somebody who went to Congress 4 years ago with Pitiless, who's now worth $30 million, whose husband's investment company had no investors, and whose winery made no wine? Don't you kind of want to know where the money came from? Don't you kind of want to know that if, in fact, it's stolen or fraudulently gotten? And this also includes, insider trading that has made politicians on both sides of the aisle incredibly rich while you and I suffered, while you and I work our entire lives to get to a finish line that may have to come when you're 70 or 75, a few years before you die. Here is Pam Bondi yesterday. The next thing is, the Epstein files. And even though the Democrat Party sat on the Epstein files for 4 years, did nothing about it, all of a sudden this week, because there was a void in the next thing, okay, they defused the anti-ICE protest in Minneapolis. Before that, they defused the No Kings. Before that, they defused the, Pete Hegseth is, a war criminal. Before that, they defused Elon Musk as a Nazi. This was the next thing. Last week, it was Donald Trump as a racist because of a Lion King parody video.
They are talking about Epstein today. This has been around since the Obama administration. Yeah. This administration released over 3 million pages of documents.
They did,
over 3 million. And Donald Trump
I don't think that Christopher Wray ever got reamed like this.
Signed that law to release all of those documents. He is the most transparent president in the nation's history. And none of them ask Merrick Garland over the last 4 years one word about Jeffrey Epstein.
Did not care until they needed something to fill the space another week. This is Rebecca Garland. She also said that women are too stupid or dependent on men to get an ID to vote. That's what she said yesterday. But she also said this, and she stormed out of the meeting.
Didn't ask Merrick Garland anything about Epstein, not once. When he was
weak sauce.
Also
weak sauce. Yeah, a congresswoman said weak sauce.
I want the record to reflect that, with this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning.
Is Jewish. I just want to be clear. Do you want to go there, Attorney General?
That must be some strong sauce.
Or do you want to go there? Are you serious? Talking about anti-Semitism to a woman who lost her
the dog's howling again.
grandfather in the Holocaust. Really?
The committee will be in order.
Talk to Jared Wise about anti-Semitism.
The ranking member.
Democrats have said nothing about the rising anti-Semitism in America following October the 7th. And there are also Democrats in New York City, particularly white women, who are protesting in favor of Hamas. So there's that. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show. is Miranda Devine. Miranda Devine of the
it is just...
Yeah, he did. Zoran Mandani said, get those people indoors, and he let them stay on the streets, and 19 of them died during the last snow act. Of collectivism, I believe, actually, which isn't very warm at all. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Thinking job change in the new year? Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain over time. It just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. That's ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
I'm gonna sue Lou. Nothing he said is remotely true. I'm gonna sue Lou. I'll have my day and make him pay. I'm gonna get my way. I plan to sue Lou. Ted's in trouble, just watch him sweat. A summons he is gonna get. The lies he told publicly. Makes them slander us, he defamed me. Ted's liable, he darn well knows. Sue him for $10 million. He'll pay through the nose when I sue Lou. I'll bankrupt him. That's what I will do when I sue Lou. He won't stop me, just wait and see. Take his last penny when I sue Lou. He's dishonest, but what else is new? I'm gonna sue.
Hey guys, it's Carson for Quince. You know, a well-built wardrobe is about pieces that work together and hold up over time. That's what Quince does best. Premium materials, thoughtful design, everyday staples that feel easy to wear, even as the weather shifts. Quince has everyday essentials. I love the quality that lasts, by the way. Organic cotton sweaters, polos for every occasion, lighter jackets that keep you warm in the changing season. The list goes on. Now, Quince works directly with top factories and cuts out the middleman. So you're not paying for brand markup, just quality clothing. Everything is built to hold up to daily wear and still look good season after season. I have a great wool blazer that has the ladies turning their heads, even if they're not looking at me. And then, of course, a cashmere sweater, ridiculously soft, doesn't cost a fortune as well. Refresh your wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/Newsmax for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada, too. That's quince.com, QUINCE.com/Newsmax. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Newsmax. Imagine that. Oh, my God. Imagine that. Instead of just enriching insurance companies.